the economy these days, consumers seem to be dealing with rising inflation by cutting back on some discretionary spending, but that doesn't seem to be affecting the video game industry, with games going from $50 to $150, and that's not even including the console. So let's bring in CNNMoney.com's Poppy Harlow, who joins us from the NASDAQ, where a lot of these parent companies are traded. Poppy, big names, Grand Theft Auto, Madden 09. Does that affect the parent company?
You better believe it. These are big companies with multi-billion-dollar market caps. A lot of them are traded right here at the NASDAQ, and they're actually seeing an increase in the stocks of some of these companies despite a huge downturn in the U.S. economy. When you look at the sales numbers for video games, they're pretty impressive. We just got the numbers for July, $1.2 billion in sales for video games in July. When you look at this year so far, since January, we've seen about $9.5 billion in sales for video games. So let's start off with one of the best performing companies. The stock is Take-Two Interactive, ticker is TTWO. This is the maker of Grand Theft Auto. The market cap on this company about $1.9 billion. The stock is up 34% year to date. The pop you see right here at the end of February, beginning of March, is when Electronic Arts, one of its biggest competitors, made a takeover bid. That spike came. The offer was a 34% premium, but yet Take-Two Interactive said thank you, but no thank you. They were offered $26 a share. The stock now hovering right around $25. So again, up 34% when a lot of big names across the sectors are under pressure with this economy. And then, Nicole, if we look at a name like Electronic Arts that made that bid for Take-Two, that stock is actually down about 17% year to date. This is a huge company. It's the maker of that Madden franchise, the most popular sports franchise out there. Market cap $15.5 billion. The stock, if we can go in here a little bit, it's really just sort of up and down, up and down. We saw it hit sort of a low for year to date recently, but again, it's climbing. But if you look at the Madden franchise, it's been hugely successful for Electronic Arts. Madden 2008 sold 2 million in the first month last year. The 2009 version just came out this week. So really, really very popular franchise for Electronic Arts. And actually, for the next one, the code was just sent out to manufacturers for some of their other most popular games. You think of The Sims and Sim City. So this company does have a good lock on the gaming market, but it could not take over, at least not yet, Take-Two Interactive. Nicole?
Right, so they said no thanks, but no thanks to EA. And you know, you and I talk about M&A, mergers and acquisition news, with other sectors of the economy. Not a lot of people think about the gaming industry, but a big merger that went on, Activision and Blizzard. How did that affect the market?
That's exactly right. I mean, both of them are well-respected, big names in the gaming world, but now they make an even bigger company. If you look at the chart right here for Activision, kind of a rough start to the year, but then a big spike here in March, and it's been able to hang on to those gains. The stock is up about, the ticker ATVI, up about 14% year to date. So what happened was last month, Vivendi, that's the owner of Blizzard, it merged with Activision. This is when the merger was announced, though, back there between the end of April and the beginning of May. So that's when you saw that spike. This company makes some big names. We hear so much, Nicole, about Guitar Hero, you know, that interactive video game.
Love it.
Yeah, people love that. So that's been a huge success for this company. Other names, Call of Duty, Tony Hawk, that's been a hugely successful franchise for them. And then again, those comic book names, Spider-Man, X-Men, World of Warcraft, also very successful. So, you know, those have been very helpful for the company. And again, we see another company that has seen an increase in their stock value despite people pulling back on discretionary spending in this country so far this year.
Yeah, still spending all of that money on games and all of the accessories to go along with it. So you just mentioned some new names doing quite well, but kind of the granddaddy of them all, Nintendo. When you think of gaming, you think of Nintendo as kind of being one of the bellwethers here. How is that stock doing? Because it doesn't seem to be going on par with some of the others.
No, Nintendo stock is actually down about 18% this year to date. We don't have it on the wall at the NASDAQ. It's not a NASDAQ stock because it's not an American company. This is a massive company, $69.3 billion market cap. And you know why? Everyone knows what Nintendo is, what's been really successful for them. Not so much helping their stock out this year, but what's been really successful for them has been the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo DS. Let's look at the DS first. That's that handheld portable. 77.5 of those sold worldwide since it hit the market in December of 2004. Hugely popular, has a price point a bit lower than the Wii. That's been helpful for it, but when you look at the Wii, I think people would say, hey, what recession, right? Are we in one, are we not? But people are still picking these up, especially around the holidays.
Like 29, crazy, yeah. Like standing
crazy.
In line around the block.
You better believe it. And the proof is in the numbers. 29.6 million sold since November 2006. And you know what, Nicole? What's really helped this, I think, is the interactive nature. Just like Guitar Hero is popular, you have things Wii Fit. You can play tennis, you can do aerobics and yoga on this machine. It's unlike really any video game out there, and I thought it was so interesting to hear. Actually, Dr. Sanjay Gupta told us this, our health expert here at CNN. He told us some places use it for physical therapy and in rehabilitation centers, if you can believe it or not.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you know, you think that some of these big games would just be little blips on the radar for the parent companies, but it's fascinating to see how they are affecting some of the stocks at the NASDAQ and abroad. Our money expert, CNNmoney.com's Poppy Harlow. You can always watch Poppy on CNNmoney.com. Poppy, thanks so much for getting your game on with us. We appreciate it.
You are welcome.